repositioning from the defending team, and it really was quite cage going in. But yeah, like you say, I think we'll see some fireworks this evening. I'm pretty sure of that.
So here we go, everybody. CCS EU Week 2 Playday 2. We are here with Edenity versus Dave Esports. Don't forget, we are on the new Pro League rules, so you will see 5 attacking phases followed by 5 defensive phases, and we have Edenity coming out on the defensive phases first of all. So we see, as predicted, that Kids Dorms and Dorms Main Hall hold initially, avoiding the laundry with Mirror out of the picture.
And again, a little bit as predicted, we are seeing a Valkyrie, but not just a normal Valkyrie. This is going to be the elite skin Valkyrie. Naymir rocking that pretty much straight after release, which is always good to see. I do love the elite skins.
Can we get some sort of super close-up is what I'm wondering.
We made him at some point. I guess if he gets MVP, we'll see the animation.
Well, this is it. Almost creates him as a fan favourite now. Everybody's going to want him to get a good performance and get the MVP just to get that, get the views on that celebratory scene at the end.
But yeah, seeing a Valkyrie, there's no IQ, so you can be pretty confident in your Valkyrie cameras, I guess, to a degree. Obviously they can always be found, but it's a little bit easier without the IQ there. But it looks as though some drone work there may just deter Naymir from throwing one of them out. Popular one there on the green sort of tank outside there. So wasting absolutely no time. We're getting into the round now.
Yeah,
somebody on the rappel.
Dave Esports approaching from off his side very quickly there. We've got a couple, as you say, going up onto the rappel outside Kids. Vigil here possibly looking for a little run out. He's just holding that line just before he gets identified. But I don't think he's going to get much joy because we've got 5 of Dave all pressuring Kids Storms.
Yeah, definitely. They're going in there, they're clearing the ADSs, they're working there as a team, as you would expect. And it looks like Shepard is going to have a tough time in there getting flashed. First kill there going to be coming out from Zach. That's going to be a kill onto joysticks. That's Jaeger off the board, early doors. And yeah, we look like we're going to see a little bit of that early aggression we were after from Karzeka on the Vigil, but just wasn't to be as they didn't push that way. But Naymir there picking up the first kill onto Pengu. Karzeka picking another one up onto Zach. So Edenity there quickly trading out a couple of kills and bringing the man count back into their favour.
Yeah, they've done really well there. I wasn't sure, how quickly that one was going to be over. They seem to pressure Kids really quickly. Shepard, I definitely didn't want to be Shepard in that situation. Karzeka and Shockwave coming in there for the final 2 kills to pick the round up. Very solid defence from Edenity. Just to finish what I was saying there, I was a bit concerned for Shepard in that position. He was almost 1v5 with them trying to flood Kids. But Edenity standing up very, very well, picking up a couple of kills, turning the man count back in their favour, and then pushing on and picking up the round. 1-0 Edenity.
That's going to be huge because to pick up the first round against against a strong team like Dave Esports, obviously they did really well last week. They went, they showed us that they had the real brawling capability and went the full 3 maps. To pick up the first round there on a map that they did, both teams did relatively well last time, especially on defense. I think that's a really big thing because we did see last time that the attackers dominated the Kids dorm hold. Defense really struggled on it in previous weeks, and I'm not sure why, but seems like Naymir, of course, Naymir has chosen Ella, so Edenity have done the right thing and dropped TK. Bit unfortunate, obviously a bit of a slip of the mouse there, as it were, but
something you've got to be careful of, though. That's it. The rules are there. The operators are banned, and you have to adhere to that. But interesting to see. They were already going to have a tough time of it, I think, down here in Laundry. They've, as you said, done a very good job on that first hold up in Kids Dorms. But let's be honest, Laundry with no mirror, that's where boys are made into men on Oregon. So they've now put themselves at another disadvantage, dropping them here, and they've lost the Ella. The Ella shouldn't have been on the board. So going to be a difficult ask from here, I think.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but obviously, being very gentlemanly around it, no need for a rehost or anything like that. They're just sort of taking the L there, I guess. But we've got Karzeka playing upstairs as Vigil, and this is what we were talking about in the Rome game. Oh, Pengu there picking up the first kill onto Shockwave. So that's going to bring the man count further, out of their favour. And looks like Karzeka is aware of someone at the top of White Stairs, but just going to hold his time on the peak.
Some real tension here. I think that's going to be Jesus on the Ash from the outline there. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Jesus moves in, gets Karzeka on the Vigil. Meanwhile, Docky picks up the kill onto Joystick, and that leaves us in a 5v1. Who would want to be smoked right now?
You were saying you didn't want to be smoked last round, but I certainly wouldn't like to be smoked this round. Unfortunately, he's going to get overwhelmed from the hatch. Pengu picking the final kill up there onto Shepard. I had a pretty tough time with it down there, and I think with the drone work and stuff, that was a big ask really, especially with all the utility that was still left in Dave Esports' pocket, if you will.
Karzeka doing a good job on Vigil there, I thought, but he lost the gunfight essentially. He got into it with Ash and he just lost the gunfight there. I think it was a 50-50 one. It could have gone either way. Karzeka with the right idea, getting that Vigil up into dorms, just trying to stall things out. But as we've, I don't want to labour the point, but coming into it, a man down is never going to be an easy hold on Laundry when you don't have a mirror. So moving back upstairs to dorms, let's see if they can repeat that early success.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they had a really strong defence of this last round, and I'm pretty sure that they'll have, shaken it off and just taken it as a bit of an unfortunate one. And this is just a now round that they're going to have to do pretty well on, because if they keep this pattern up of doing a good hold on dorms, they're certainly in with a chance, especially with defending dorms first. It can kind of lead you into getting more defends in on your good side than on your bad side. So I think that it's definitely still all to play for at this stage. 1-1.
That's it. Even if they just, if they've got a strong strategy and technique for dorms and they can just hold that one site, take another loss on Laundry potentially, as it is very difficult to hold. Even go somewhere else, mix it up. Don't go down to Laundry. If you're expecting a loss on there anyway, or you're expecting a very, tough round, why not try somewhere else? If you're confident in your dorm's defence, you could still come out of your defensive phase 3-2 up. You're ahead of the game, and, see what you can do on attack.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see them go somewhere else. Not sure if Joystick is downstairs at the moment. Maybe going to come to blows with Feral. Karzeka there picking up an early kill onto Feral. Sorry, it was Karzeka that was downstairs. Vigil there just using his scanner to the fullest of its ability and taking out the Jackal early doors. And now we're going to see a phone call coming in from Dockerby, and that's just going to push the defenders and make them feel a little bit uncomfortable answering the phone, maybe in a position where they were trying to gain a little bit of a stealth advantage.
Perfect early kill for Vigil there, getting onto his direct counter in Jackal, but Docky picking up the kill onto Shockwave, so that takes the Legion off the board. Now, that's an important kill to get early into the round. It's only a minute in, so I'm going to estimate that that's going to lose them probably at least 3 or 4 Legion traps, as his traps generate over time. So just faking the plant there possibly, but Joystick getting in, getting the kill onto Zach, getting another one, gets Jesus off the rappel on Kid's window, so this is getting difficult. Joystick onto a 3k now with the kill against Pengu. Docky picking up Karzeka, and it's all to do. The diffuser is now down in sight, I believe, and this is going to be a huge ask for Docky on the Twitch.
Yeah, Docky-san has not got all the health in the world either. Plenty of time on the clock. There's definitely enough time for this, but I think Edenity now have just got to hold their angles and not really pressure this at all, because they've got the diffuser down. They've definitely got the advantage at this stage. I believe that Shepard will have some smoke grenades left. I think I saw him use 1 potentially. So there's probably 2 smoke grenades still there on the board. We've got a little bit of C4 left as well. So this really is a must-win round for Edenity in their current situation. And there we go, Joystick picking up his 4th kill of the round. Fantastic 4K there from Joystick on Jaeger.
Really solid play. Got himself, who needs an ACOG, right? Got himself over into Big Tower. Picked up, I think, a couple on rappel, or at least 1 on rappel, 1 on roof, I think. And yeah, really, really spurred his team on then to again assert the dominance on that Dorm's hold.
Yeah, and Joystick is, certainly putting to bed the KD that he got, last week in the 0.95. He's sitting there on 4 and 2, so double positive. Karzeka as well, doing really well, 3 and 2. Feral maybe not finding his form or the same form that he had last week. There, still struggling to find the kill, but still very much early doors. And we're going to go downstairs to Laundry this time with the correct operator's name here has opted for the castle.
So, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where these castles go, because we've discussed this before about castling double door into the main lobby, and I'm sure everybody in chat's probably screaming at us because they do it every time, and it's it's the accepted strat, and I understand that it's about gaining meeting hall control. But as we've said, without that mirror downstairs, you've really got to be careful about granting what is a feeling of safety in that lobby area. They've got Hibana on the board. They've got Twitch, but Twitch may struggle to get those mute jammers. If the mute jammers can be cleared and Hibana can open that hatch up, with no mirror downstairs to defend against the plant, it's going to be very difficult with that castle in place.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is something that we've talked about, and it is all about feeling safe in the space that you're operating in, and that's something that Book mains are very good at doing, enabling themselves to feel safe in the floor space they're operating, so that they can do what they need to do. And I think that this is where we're going to see, that come into play a little bit. But Karzeka is still playing upstairs as the Vigil, looking hopefully to maybe be a little bit more successful than he was last time. Pengu seems to be aware of his presence, gets some shots in, but not really enough. My name is Zach there, picking up joystick, so joystick going down pretty early on there, unfortunately, and the hatch is open. Feral there coming in with his first kill of the game onto Karzeka, and they may tempted for a little run out, but couldn't really find anybody. So early doors, I think Dave Esports there have, given themselves pretty decent advantage. They seem to have cleared most, if not all, of the roamers, and it's now going to be left to the guys on site from Edenity to do the. Oh, sorry, Shockwave is upstairs in meeting, so Shockwave's still playing offside.
Nemir coming in with a couple of big kills for Edenity though, taking Docky and Feral out, so that's Capit out and Twitch off the board. So that is smoke utility gone as well, which can be very, very important for a plant in Laundry. Brings us to 3v3. Pengu picking up the kill onto Shockwave, so that leaves us in a 3v2, taking the Mute off the board, but Mute's job will be largely done already, we would expect. And time to see if Dave start pushing towards site and trying to get that plant down. We've got Pengu just working the hatch here. He's putting the lifelines down. Is he going for a drop, or is he going to move downstairs? He moves down the stairs, and it's time to start thinking about a plant with Hibana getting in there and just Zach looking to get that plant down. The smoke comes out, but it's not going to be close enough. Zach manages to get it down, but is he going to be down by the smoke? I think he has just been dropped by the smoke, so that leaves us effectively in a 2v2, but Dave just needs to defend this diffuser now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Shepard playing the ever so solid smoke there, still alive. I think he's been last alive pretty much nearly every time. Pengu there picking up the kill onto Nemir as he gets on the diffuser, and we're now essentially in a 1 versus 1, but unfortunately that guy Jesus there picking up the kill onto Shepard to close out the round for Dave Esports. I think that Edenity did a fantastic job there of holding Laundry in the circumstances. Obviously, when we say that Laundry is difficult to hold now without a mirror, you've got to remember Oregon's been in the game for a lot. Oregon as a map has been in the game for longer than Mirror has as an operator. So once upon a time, this was just a normal game on Oregon. There was just no mirror. It wasn't out yet. But obviously, Mirror's ability just created so many bomb sites, to all of a sudden become viable. That when she's removed like this, it is a big shock to the system. And, to essentially get it down to a 1 versus 1 on that, I think that they did a fantastic job.
Pengu leading the way for kills on Dave Esports there, as you saw, but only just. He's on 4 with a couple of the other team members on 3. Moving back up to the Dorm's hold now for Edenity. They're surely going to be confident after 2 good wins here. They're going to be looking to take this defensive phase 3-2. But I tell you what, this is anybody's map. I would not like to try and pick a winner at this stage. Do you fancy a try, X?
I don't fancy a try just yet. I think that's a pretty unfair question after 4 rounds of pretty good back and forth. If it does go quite a long way, I'm just glad it's the first map, so that we've got the energy to give it its justice. Because obviously overtime now is infinite, so teams just have to win by 2 player rounds. And we're going to see a Doc. Sorry, we're going to see Shockwave with the Doc, and he's looking to pick up a quick kill there, but didn't quite manage to pop the head on Doc, although he did manage to take some vital hit points off Doc-san. So Doc-san's probably sitting there at around 75, I would like to say. Karzeka there with an early run-out kill onto that guy Jesus. Karzeka's been very, very dangerous at that double door, and it's paid off. He's been there pretty much every round at this stage. And you know, what he's done's working. He's just playing really, really sensibly for that kill. And as the Vigil, he's able to hide from the drones so that the attackers haven't known that's what he's been doing. And he's just been taking his time to make sure that, you know, one of these times it's actually going to pull off, and there you have it.
You've got to say, he's got away with it now as well. We've said this before. Doki-san picking up the kill onto Shockwave to even up that man count. Doc off the board, so those healing shots are gone. Yeah, the point I was making about the Vigil there is, we've said it a couple of times, you've got to be careful about that repetition of your actions each time. So by hitting double door every time, if they've droned him out and they know he's there, then it's going to be, you know, he starts getting picked up. But another kill for Karzeka, and Joystick joining him to bring us to a 4v2. Shepard getting the kill onto Doki, and that leaves just Pengu on the sledge with it all to do. But Shepard just takes him out as he's rappelling in through that kid's window. Solid performance again from Edenity on Dorms.
Absolutely fantastic. This couldn't be further from the truth of what we've seen so far this season. You know, in the attackers have always dominated on a kid's dorm attack. The defenders have never really got near, but, you know, Edenity are absolutely flipping that on the head. They're going, hang on a minute, no, we're going to win this site. The mirror's not on the table, so we need to win kids consistently, because Laundry becomes a little bit less fair and a little bit less 50-50, if you'd say. And, you know, that's their first defensive phase out of the way, and I think they've definitely come out of that on top. To come out of that phase, you know, 3-2 up is fantastic. So we're going to be moving on now into Dave Esports' first defensive phase. So obviously we're going to play 5 rounds now with them on defense, and we're up at kids' dorms, no surprise. Not to take anything away from Edenity, but I think that Dave Esports pretty much push that the same every time. They seem very obsessed with pushing from the north side and trying to gain control over kids and get a plant off that way. And historically, we've seen players do well coming in from Armory, coming in from Master Bedroom, and coming in from Double Window. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I think we saw... I think it was Method. Yeah, it was definitely Method. If you remember, in Method's first game last week, they absolutely ran over Dorms by coming through Master. They did it twice in a row, and just they were unstoppable. They were literally winning the round within about a minute and a half, I think. So yeah, I would have liked to have maybe seen Dave Esports just mix that up a little bit more. As I say, Karzeka getting away with playing that same location on the Vigil each time, down on the main door and making the runouts. I'd like to have seen that picked up on drones and maybe preempted on the next round, and it's a cheap kill then. So interesting to see now what Dave Esports do. They have come without a Vigil, but this is the first time we are seeing a Pulse played. We've got Feral. I would presume he's going to be downstairs in the kitchen area at some point, if not already, and he's going to be looking to deny that diffuse plant with a C4 if it comes.
Yeah, definitely. And Pulse has always been a very strong operator on Oregon. Often we've seen him banned on Oregon. But Joystick there is going to be on the repel, just looking for the headshot onto Pengu, but doesn't quite manage it. Although Pengu, as the smoke, is coming under quite a bit of pressure here with a man on either repel. Letting out some toxic canisters now, and an Ash charge comes in and does manage to take him out. So that is going to be smoke off the board pretty early on. Used a couple of canisters in the process as well. And it looks like Edenity are going for a fairly similar push. Joystick there picking up another kill onto Zach. So Joystick's on fire this week. I think that's pretty safe to say. He's certainly getting the frags. And another little skirmish there from Joystick, but he doesn't come out on top. That guy Jesus there picking up the kill, taking a little bit of help for it. And we've still got Feral downstairs, just watching the guys on the rappel and probably giving call-outs to his teammates to let them know which window they're at. And there is a pre-placed C4 under the double window downstairs from Doki-san. So you better know as soon as Ying jumps in, that C4 is going to get popped. But it appears Doki-san did it a little bit too late. Neymar picking up the kill onto that guy Jesus. Shepard there picking the kill to Feral. So it is all on for Doki-san to do. He picks up the first kill onto Karzeka, and he's now in a 1 versus 3. But Shepard picks up the kill, and Edenity are continuing their dominance on kids' dorms.
Not only can they defend kids' dorms, but they can clearly attack it as well. Very good play from Edenity there. They got in, they certainly had a plan, that much was clear. They executed well, they won the gunfights, and I don't know, maybe, do you think Dave Esports were possibly a little bit cautious downstairs?
I think they were definitely a little bit cautious. I'm not too sure as to why the Pulse wasn't maybe looking for a bit of a run-out kill. I know he'd probably lost his life in doing so, but he'd definitely been able to pick up some sort of a kill onto one of the guys on the rappel maybe, and maybe just missing a bit of that aggression. I don't think there was anyone on Dave Esports playing in the tower area, and obviously tower's a fantastic angle. I think Joystick showed us that in one of the previous rounds. Joystick got 2 kills from big tower area onto guys on Kids Storm Repel. So yeah, maybe just a little bit too close together, and just needs to spread the wings a little bit, use the rest of the map that wasn't really being used at all. And interesting to see them going back here again, because if you're Edenity now, you've got to be thinking, we picked this round up, and all of a sudden, if they go down to Laundry, odds on are we're going to win that. Yeah, really exciting times.
Interesting mental game now, because as you say, they're now 4-2 down at Dave Esports, and they're thinking, we don't want to go to Laundry, we've got no mirror, we've seen how that plays out, it's very difficult to hold, but we've just been run over a little bit in dorms, so what do we do now? And like you say, they know Edenity are going to be coming into this with confidence, but I think the key here for Edenity is maybe just going to be switching up that approach. They're going to have to recognise that they've got a pulse upstairs in the big tower. That could be something they're already aware of. We'll soon find out. But I think they just need to switch, and there you go. I think that's it. We'll have to see if that pulse decides to drop or not. But yeah, they're definitely going to just switch things up a little bit and maybe try a different approach.
Yeah, definitely. And this is what we were saying about having someone play upstairs in that big tower. Ying's now coming in, and Namir there picking up the first kill, and getting the pulse off the board pretty early. So a little bit of an unsuccessful tower attempt there from Feral. He is having a bit of a tough game still, I think, and on 1 kill compared to his shocking form last week of 1.9 KD. So bit of a tough one there. Don't know if he's had to switch roles a little bit, maybe switch his operators, due to obviously Pengu now playing. Obviously different operators are going to be needed by different people, but Shepard there nearly ever so close to getting a kill onto Zach and taking him down to probably about 20 HP, but managing to clear it up and definitely getting the down, but he will not be aware of it. Dokisan there potentially looking for a little bit of a pickup, but Shepard now getting on the drone, and he's going to get a notification that at least 2 of them are there, so that's probably going to be the next target for Edenity, I'd say, on a bit of a roam clear.
Yeah, we've got Joystick here, just working the kids' windows now. Oh, I think he just missed that peak. I'm not sure if I don't know who the Dave player was, but I'm not sure if he actually moved far enough across. Shockwave picking up the kill onto Pengu, though. He just can't seem to get that SMG working quick enough to trade it out or anything. So that's double window cleared off, and we are now looking at a 5 versus 3. We've got Valk on half health, and this is becoming very difficult. But Jesus stepping up, getting a kill onto Joystick. Doki-san just dealing out another one onto Shockwave, leveling things up. 3v3 on the man count now with a minute left in the round, so it's all to do. Karzeka coming in with a headshot onto Doki and taking the bandit. Nemir with the kill onto Zach, and Karzeka comes in with his second kill onto Jesus to finish out the round. And just as I was saying things had leveled up, Edenity just stepped up and took it up a gear and flushed them out very quickly. 3 kills in about 10 seconds, and that ends the round, leaving us 5-2 match point in favour of Edenity, leaving Dave Sports reeling a little bit at this point, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And as it often does in Siege, everything seems to happen in the final couple of seconds, but just a really comprehensive push at the end there from Edenity. Every attacker was in the correct location. They did lose some men, in fairly quick succession, losing 2 guys, but it didn't really seem to phase them, and they seemed to still execute the plan that it looked like they'd made, maybe 30 seconds ago, and that was, go in, try and get the plant off. Didn't feel too comfortable getting the plant on, so faked it, and all of a sudden, defenders are kind of swarming to try and make sure that plant isn't going down, and they're just picking up kills in the crossfire. Fantastic push there at the end, and it just goes to show that, the way that they've worked as a team on this, we've not actually seen it yet. Someone be very dominant on both attack and defense of that bomb site. We keep going on about how it was so, so attacker favored last week. And I think that speaks to the operator bans, and that's what makes them so exciting, is you can play Oregon one week with operators banned, and then you can play Oregon the next week with different operators banned, and you can do much better on it. And it just goes to show that the operator bans are much more important, than people maybe think.
They're absolutely pivotal, no doubt. I can't wait to not only get them into custom games and have a go with them, on, in scrims and stuff, but just to get them potentially into ranked play as well. And just really, I think it's going to be the biggest thing to freshen the game up for a long time, more so than new operators or anything else.
Yeah, definitely. Saw there, unfortunately, that I think it was Shockwave just took out the drone of Karzeka early doors there, trying to get a bit of a pre-fire on. I think it was maybe onto Jesus lingering around the rear stage area sort of thing. So that's going to be a drone off the board early, which is never a good thing to lose a drone to your own man. But this round going a lot slower. Edenity obviously understanding the value of it and going for a backside push, so like a rear stage push. Pengu there picking up an early kill onto Shockwave, so maybe a bit of prediction there and you know, sort of putting a bit of a halt to that rear side push, and that's going to be Sledge off the board.
Yep, Pengu just relocating himself after that kill. Joystick getting in and getting the man count back to 4v4 with the kill onto Zach, taking the Legion off the board. So once again, that Legion taken off with about 2 minutes to go. So lots of missing traps there. Obviously very important for Legion to guard his life and just maximise those goo mines as much as he can. And we've got a couple of players possibly coming together now. We've got Docky in Meeting Hall. We've got Joystick operating there on low health. This has got to be a kill for Docky. He picks up the kill onto the Ash. We were all waiting for that one to come across, and it went exactly as expected. So that leaves us 4v3 in favour of Dave Esports. Feral getting the kill onto Karzeka, 4v2, and they are looking strong favourites to pick up this successful defence on Laundry for the first time, with Pengu getting the kill onto Shepherd, and now they just have to watch those angles. Pengu getting downed at least, but Feral just applying a bit of pressure from behind the Ying. Nemia now under 75 health. You've got a couple of the Dave Esports teams just on low health as well, but I think this is going to be a big ask for Ying, especially with no smokes.
Yeah, definitely picking up the first kill out onto Docky-san, and that just goes to show that in these situations, you know, you can't really be chasing these kills. You've got to play as a team still and make sure you get the trade. So, you know, that's giving them a very easy 1v1, and the three remaining players for Dave Esports are all pretty lit at this stage, although time isn't on Namia's side, running into sort of the last 20 seconds or so right about now.
I'm not sure that they know where she's coming from, though. I don't think they know where Ying is coming from, although they might do now, because that call out will surely go out from Legion. Feral moves in, gets the kill, and that finishes the round with a win for Dave Esports. Does that signal the beginning of a comeback, do you think, X?
Yeah, quite possibly. To win downstairs on Laundry is always a good thing. Going into match point now again, still though for Edenity, and they've got to be thinking to themselves, you know, they've done really well out of kids' dorms. This, you know, the past 2 times they've attacked up there, and it's got to be looking favourable for them as long as they can keep the head straight. You know, fantastic spread of kills on Edenity, 8, 7, 2, and 5. Very good spread over on Dave Esports as well, and I think that the kill count is certainly, you know, very, very close, considering that there's 2 rounds between these guys at the minute. But it's got to be looking good for Edenity at this stage to, you know, try and pick this up, because they've done so well on this site in the past. Not really seeing any different operator choices on Dave Esports, so they're maybe going to look to play this just a little bit differently. Surely
Feral will learn the lesson from last time. Actually, as I say that, I noticed Feral's actually switched out onto Valk, so we've got Zach playing the Pulse this time. It was Feral who took Pulse over to Big Tower and lost his life early on, and I thought that was a strange choice myself. Pulse with the UMP-45, it's really not the best weapon, full stop, let alone at distance. When you've got a Jaeger on the team who's got that assault rifle, for me, I'd have probably sent Jaeger over to Tower. I'm sure, you know, Jaeger's got a lot to do in the preparation phase, so it can be a big ask for him to get over there later on, especially if they start with a rear stage push. But I just think Pulse is certainly more effective in the kitchen area and having that potential to deny a plant.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not seeing anyone play at the top of the Big Tower. I think that, you know, it's much more effective to sort of play on that first level with a rotation into attic, because it gives you an option into meeting there, and you know, you've got more options there. In that Big Tower, you're a little bit, you know, stuck up on a pedestal, and I think possibly a bit of an easy target, especially at this level, with the way that, you know, you're going to push things as a team and drone effectively. You're going to have a pretty good idea of where people are. So we've got quite a few guys playing downstairs this time. We've got Zach and Doc both down there playing in kitchen, and we've got Pengu playing in dining room. So not very good, you know, only 2 guys left on site. well, actually, it didn't look like there was anybody just on site just then. But I'm sure there's a couple of guys in and around the site. Jesus there playing at the top of White Stairs, and Ferrell there, sorry, playing in Kids Dorms. But Namir with the double window open again, just going to look in and see if you can find anyone on a rotation.
As you've said, they've applied a lot of resource downstairs there by having 3 men. Obviously expecting some sort of dining, or maybe even a kids rappel. They're looking for that run out that that you've spoken about a few times, but nothing coming their way so far. It seems like Edenity have largely taken to the rooftops, although Zach will be picking up joystick on the heartbeat sensor and feeding that back to his team, I'm sure, with Ash moving on to the rappel. But yeah, it seems like a lot more pressure being applied to the upper floor here. Looking, you've got 2 there just approaching kids, and damage going in from the Ash possibly, but being held off for the time being, and this is the time for that aggression if we're ever going to see it.
Yeah, definitely. And Ferrell there just managing to escape with his life on the second Ash charge. And I think that Dave Esports are playing this one fantastically. They're not taking the fight to Edenity at all. This is Edenity's round to lose, if you will. It's match point for them. And Dave Esports really aren't pushing the point. They're kind of just sitting there, holding their angles and going, right, I'm here, I'm here. Now what are you going to do about it? You're going to have to push me. And that's just what Edenity are now, sorting to build up and do. They've got down each of the kids' dorms, repel, and Ferrell's wasted pretty much nearly all the round at this. Well, not quite all of it, but a lot of the round. But Shepard there picking the first kill up onto Pengu, Dokistan getting Shockwave, and Karzeka trading that straight back out. So that's going to leave Edenity with the man advantage at this point. But time getting a little bit short, and that guy Jesus is there going to look just to pick up someone on the bottom of White Stairs, but doesn't quite manage it. Joystick there picking up Ferrell. My name is Zach picking up Shepard. And Joystick there getting the kill onto Jesus. So all down to my name is Zach, and unfortunately he doesn't manage to clutch it out. So that is going to be the first map. Is going to go to Edenity, Oregon.
Fantastic game from Edenity. Really a tour de force on Oregon. I can't remember them really struggling many rounds. The only thing they struggled with was the defense on Dorm without Mirror. Sorry, the defense on Laundry without Mirror.
Yeah, definitely. They couldn't seem to get the laundry defense together, but I don't think that they lost upstairs in kids' dorms attacking or defending. I can't recall a time where they lost doing either. So they've obviously got upstairs absolutely dialed, and that's a really that's a good thing to win your own map. Obviously, you want to be trying to win your own map because that's the that's your map, so you've picked it for a reason, and to be able to go and such a convincing win as well at 6-4. It was a very very convincing as well. So to win your first map, fantastic. Get that in the bag. Now let's focus on Bank because as we said in the pre-game, Dave Esports were pretty dominant on Bank last time, but the sort of momentum that Edenity are going to be bringing to this and the way that they have just played so well, I'm sure that that's going to play into it as well, and they're going to be pretty confident going into this, I think.
Yep, just bringing up those operator bands that we're going to be seeing on Bank now. And let's take a look at what we've got. We've got Jackal, Montagna, Mira, and Cavera.
Wow. Double mirror ban.
A double mirror ban, so that's going to make it very interesting when they're going downstairs to lockers.
I definitely think that we'll see some Lion play on Bank. I'm interested that Jackal is banned. Jackal's one of my favourite operators on Bank, full stop, just because of how large it is, how many rotations there are. There's multiple staircases. Everyone knows Bank at this stage. There's multiple drop hatches. And I think that Jackal on Bank is, almost a must pick for the attacking side. So to see that removed, I think we're going to see a heavy roam game. We're going to see a lot of vigil play. We're going to see, and that sort of speaks to maybe why Cav's been removed as well, because, Cav can be really, really powerful, especially without a Jackal. She's still powerful with a Jackal because Silent Step obviously doesn't come up on Jackal's footprint scanner. And the lack of a Monty, well, that sort of makes you have to rethink the server room push a little bit more when you're going to be attacking downstairs in Lockers area. You're not really going to be able to push that the same way as you would normally. Usually it's not a straightforward plan, but it can be fairly straightforward. So interested to see the lack of Montagna, and does that mean we're going to see a blitz?
Almost certainly. Surely. Moving back into map 2 then, we've got the first map going to Edenity. Edenity move on to the attacking phase first time here. So that's going to be 5 attacks in a row for Edenity on Bank map. As we've already said, we have got the operators Jackal, Montagna, Cavera and Mirror banned out. And now what does that tell you about the popular game on Bank? They are trying to shut down that roam. Not only have they taken Jackal, but they know that the Cavera has to come in as well. Now if I just have a quick look at who banned who. Yep, Dave banned Jackal, whereas Edenity banned Cavera, so it was done on opposite sides of the coin, so maybe a good attempt at a fake out there, but then it's been picked up by the other team and they've got rid of the counter.
Yeah, quite possibly. I think that removing the Jackal from the play, it does leave Cavera quite powerful, because Cavera is a fantastic roamer, and I think that we often forget how good a roamer Cavera is, just because her ability is a little bit hit and miss. At this kind of a level of play, you've got a pretty good idea of where your teammates are, and if someone gets downed, you're going to be able to do something about it before they get interrogated, or you're going to be able to stop the interrogation and bait the kill. So her ability is never, not all that in terms of that side of it, but it's almost like an ability of two halves, because you get the silence ability, which is huge because sound's a massive thing. So yeah, Cavera off the board, no surprise. But again, no surprise there to see a Vigil, and I'm sure that Ferrell will show us some good stuff with Vigil in due course. So going to be moving in now, and we've switched it up this time. So we've got Dave Esports, they're going to be on the defense, and Edenity, they're going to be on the attack. Yeah, Dockerby, good choice, I'd say. Ying, IQ, all very positive. IQ there is going to maybe play around with the Vigil a little bit, and that's Shockwave picking up the first kill. So IQ there is probably, I'm going to go as far as say, has found Vigil on the scanner and got the grenade kill.
Yep, looking at a downstairs in lockers. The only thing I'd say maybe missing from that attacking side is possibly a thermite. Just looking to open that wall up and get the plant down, but Hibana can do that, I understand, but it might be better to use Hibana to look for the hatches. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing how this hole goes down. I do recall a game at Invitationals where Pengu absolutely went off on a locker's defence as smoke, so interested to see if we get any sort of replay of that or not, but for the time being at least, we have Edenity on a man advantage, carrying that momentum from the first map. They were, I'm sure, very keen to get started on this early on, and Hibana opening up both of the hatches there. So as I've said, they've no thermite on the team, not enough Hibana pellets now to open that wall from servers, so the plant is going to either come from a drop or from the single door most likely.
Yeah, I think that with the lack of a Monty, I think that the servers push is maybe just been shelved for this round, and Identity are possibly going to see how well they can get on by trying to pressure the hatches, like you say, and pressure the stairs. Without a Monty, it makes server room push very difficult. I think you just leave yourself quite open, especially with smokes on the board. Although there is no mirror, so they'll have obviously had to open the wall and stuff to be able to see the attackers pushing in. But again, you can see Pengu there holding that angle with the smoke, and that's really going to be your biggest enemy when you're trying to get the plant down there. So maybe pushing in from elsewhere and trying to clear some guys out and make some disruption will lead your CCTV room a little bit clearer for the plant.
Jesus playing that popular angle for the pulse there, so you get yourself in vault, you're nice and protected, but you can see anybody on your heartbeat scanner coming from the bottom of blue stairs. Candela's coming in and flashing Pengu on the smoke there. Are they going to be able to take advantage of that? Yes, Nehemiah drops, gets the kill straight on, but that's traded back out by Docky, leaving us in a 4v3 in favour of Edenity. Docky getting a second kill with his pistol onto Karzeka, 3v3, that takes Hibana off the board, but Shepard with a quick double kill, Jesus and Zach dropping. Docky has it all to do. He's in a 1v3, 1v2 now with a kill on Shockwave. Can he do this? No, Shepard manages to just get in there, calm things down, stop that spate of kills, and gets the final kill there onto Docky to secure the round with the DMR of, I think it was Dockerby there.
Shepard's had a stormer there. Absolutely, I think he picked up 2 kills with his SMG-12 back-to-back. And then, room clearing with the DMR. There we go, 3 kills. Nehemiah picking up 1 and Shockwave picking up another. Dokistan doing his absolute best, picking up 3 for himself. but unfortunately not able to not able to get anywhere with it. But again, a fantastic round from Edenity, and they're really showing some good momentum. This isn't going to be a 6-0 in favour of Dave Esports like we saw last week. It really looks like Edenity have come here to play.
For sure, and maybe they saw that game last week and did a bit of studying. You know, it's very early in the season, so it's difficult to say. We haven't seen them play on Bank yet. It could be a map that they're already very familiar and very good at, and maybe that's why they left it in. But that first round going to them on attack in such convincing style does maybe give a little insight as to why they allowed this map through the ban phase.
Oh, definitely. They're 100% comfortable on it. And even with the operator bans taking out Monty, as we've said, making that CCTV push that little bit harder, it didn't really seem to phase them. And they were able to, push from multiple angles, stairs, hatch and server room and get the job done that way. So it didn't really look like they were playing for a plant last time. It certainly looked like they were going for kills, which, there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you win however you win. Zach there just getting his camera just right. Didn't want to be on the cable, as the cable would have put it off a little bit on the angle, I think. But yeah, just taking his time on his Valkyrie cameras there. Ferrell's going to be playing in lobby, and it does appear as though we've got a couple of guys entering. Joystick at least is going to be entering through main doors, and Ferrell there not too far away, just over in Tellers, so could see an early skirmish here at around the 30 seconds gone mark.
Ferrell, as you say, just holding his position in Tellers there, remaining nice and quiet, nice and cautious, and he's just going to wait for that noise. Will he hear Ash moving through main lobby or not? Ash being a one armor operator, so relatively quiet, but moving upstairs now, and we've got the rotations upstairs as well, so this whole map being defended at the minute by Dave Esports.
Yeah, they're definitely spreading themselves quite thin, and going back to the same bomb site that they lost on previously, seems to be a little pattern with Dave Esports. They lost on kids, they went back there, and unfortunately lost again. So, bit of a difficult one here, and definitely definitely feeling like it was close enough that they could have won it. I certainly think it was. There was some standout plays from both sides, but Ash has seemed to got herself onto main stairs there without really, being challenged. And although Vigil's doing a good job, staying alive in archives, it looks like he may just come to a head now. Zach picking up the first kill onto Joystick, Karzeka getting another kill onto Ferrell, so that's the Vigil out of the picture. So that's what we were saying. Oh, Penta there picking up a kill onto Naemir, so that will be Ying. Ying's going to be quite a big loss at this stage because, Candelas haven't gone down, and Karzeka there aware of Smoke's presence on the blue stairs.
Definitely a better defence this time, as you say. We now have 4-on-3 with IQ, Dockerby and Hibana with it all to do now, but Hibana opening up those hatches again, and that was something that we saw them make good use of last time, but the Ying is off the board, which did help them last time. The Candelas went in, they followed it and got the frags, but not going to be the case this time. Dave Esports just holding their angles downstairs largely now. With that roaming Vigil off the board, they're just, waiting for the push, wait to see where it comes from. They've got Pulse in Vault again. You can see two ahead there, one in Vault Corridor, one by Elevators, I think. So they're just going to wait now and see what Edenity can bring their way. And that door is being watched as IQ moves towards it. Will Zach get the kill? He puts shots on, but that's fantastic play from Shockwave to get in through that door safely and get the kill. Gets a second onto Docky, leaving them in a 3v2 man advantage now. So Pengu and Jesus have it all to do, but Pengu steps up, gets the first kill onto Karzeka with the smoke. That's taking the Hibana off the board. So it's all down to Shockwave as he gets the down onto Pengu, but Docky's Lesion Trap picks up the win and shows the value of those goo mines. Shockwave on low health and just dropping the hatch there onto a well-placed goo mine, finishing out the round.
Super unfortunate for Shockwave there. What a fantastic job of picking up, 2 kills back-to-back, 2 headshots. I really have a soft spot for that IQ Elite. I think it's really cool, so... I'm a little bit biased toward anyone that plays with the IQ Elite, but yeah, fantastic, really great kills. But unfortunately, as the IQ, he seemed to find every single goo mine on the map. I think I saw him pick out about 3. So that just goes to show how valuable the Legion can be when it stays alive to the end and gets all 8 of the goo mines out. Essentially winning the round. I think that Shockwave would have had a tall order had they been able to drop the hatch and actually get a kill off. It was still a 1 versus 1 with about 3 seconds left, but yeah, definitely just showing the powerful how powerful the goo mines can be there. And Dave Esports now opting to switch things up and go to Tellers. Tellers and Archives.
Yeah, I think it's definitely time. They've won one round down there, but let's be honest, it was very close. Pengu was down, the hatch was being dropped, and it was essentially a 1v1. Granted, it was well finished by a well-placed Legion goo mine, but still quite a close defence. It leaves them with no option but to move, and I think it might just spur them on. If they can get a win here, go 2-1, get back down onto Tellers, back down onto Lockers, maybe even give a more convincing defence down there on Lockers, which we've got to remember is, again, as we said with Laundry on Oregon, it's always going to be difficult without the mirror that is relied upon so heavily down there. But I think Dave definitely looking to get 2-1 here and then push on and maybe get another successful. They just need to get a couple of rounds on the bounce now.
Yeah, definitely. I think Edenity is showing good form here in the way that they're managing to pick rounds up back to back. Going from map to map almost. So Dave Esports there, just slowing them down in the tracks a little bit, and looking maybe to pick up a win on this objective here. Like you say, it's so 50-50 downstairs in Lockers and CCTV that the map really could be won or lost on bomb sites like Archives and Tellers, and who can do the best on those. And really take advantage of some wins on there.
Oh, Shockwave just moving in with a cheeky knife kill onto Docky there, taking the Legion off the board. Now, how important could that be after seeing the back of the last round where Legions won the round for them? We've just, again, lost probably 3 or 4 at least of those goo mines. And we've got the attacking team now just starting to try and move inside the building. They're applying pressure to Vigil there, Pengu on the Vigil, and he's just getting pressured upstairs. Zach getting the kill onto Karzeka though. Shepard getting the kill onto Pengu. Vigil was low health anyway, so that leaves us in a 4v3 in favour of Edenity.
And the C4 toss comes out there, but it's just not quite far enough from Feral, and Shockwave manages to pick up that kill. And Jaeger there in that guy Jesus just trying to provide a little bit of vertical play from the objective. But it would appear now that Edenity have got pretty much full upstairs control. They've not got everything in the world to open it up with. They've got the Ash and maybe a potential breaching charge on Ying, I'm maybe mistaken, and some grenades from Shockwave certainly. But there we go, Zach there just going to get droned out. Shockwave going to have a pretty good idea of where he is and look to push that pretty much straight away. Playing down on the stairs, but it appears as though Zach has heard Shockwave. Shockwave just going to take things a little bit slowly. They are in a man advantage, but Namir there coming out and getting the kill. That just goes to show the importance and the communication of all that. Shockwave obviously giving a fantastic call out there. And it leaves it onto Jesus, who is down in the objective, and Shockwave manages to pick up the headshot. Jesus there in a pretty impossible position. I think that they was getting fairly well surrounded. It just goes to show that once you get control, good control over CEO, you really can, take that site relatively easily. And I think that's why teams invest so much upstairs in CEO to try and hold it. But, unfortunately, that time for Dave Esports, it was not the case. But Edenity there are going to move up and look at Shepard at the top of the charts. 4 kills and 1 death. Shockwave there, 5 kills and 2 deaths. So maybe just missing out on a couple of points there, Shockwave, to regain your top spot so we can see that IQ Elite if the rounds do so fall that way.
Moving on to the next defensive phase then, we will see Dave Esports heading back down to Lockers, a site that they've won 1, lost 1, so it's 50-50 at this point. We'll see how they do. I'm sure they're going to be using similar tactics to the win that they had, but also need to see now whether Edenity come down and just switch that up. We're seeing, I think, an identical lineup. We've got Hibana, Ying, Dockerby, Ash and IQ, so identical lineup to the last attack down here, and I imagine again they're going to be looking to get those hatches open. They've certainly been looking, as you said, X quite rightly, without the Monte, they've definitely been looking to work those hatches more, but I might have been interested to see a Thatcher come along, given the situation last time with the Legion mines. You get a Thatcher grenade down that hatch before you drop it, just to avoid that situation, but I'm not sure who I would want to trade off that team, so I'm sure they'll be looking for more of the same from last time.
Yeah, this is something that we saw quite a bit on Monday as well, is that teams that were on good form, particularly remember Ouroboros having a pretty good streak on Monday. The operators that they chose for their attacking lineup just didn't change at all. and the guys were really good in those operators, and everyone knew the job. Everyone, had a really good understanding of what their job and responsibility was in that push that they decided. And I think you do see some really good players from teams where their operators do stay relatively the same, and they've got maybe 5 ideas that they can pull off with the same 5 operators to keep things different and not be so predictable to the defense. But they're able to take the same operators, so they've got the same, they're in the same mindset, if you will. So yeah, maybe bringing a Thatcher would throw that off a little bit. Like you say, there's no one really that has struggled in the attacking lineup for Identity so far, so you wouldn't really want to see that change at all. Maybe a grenade from Shockwave, seeing as there's no Jaeger, wouldn't be as effective as a Thatcher, but you'd possibly get rid of a few that way.
IQ now just working in on that scanner, getting the Vault cams, getting the Legions taken out, so it just shows how valuable that scanner can be now. And they are looking to push main stairs again. Now, I'm not sure that Shockwave, I think it was Shockwave who pushed there with IQ last time. Not sure he wasn't a little bit lucky getting the kill onto Zach, who was prepared in a very similar location outside elevators, but he definitely did a job. So let's see if they can do that again. They've got 2 pushing now. Ash getting caught out by that Legion mine, so that's going to tell them that they're on the way, and it's just a shame maybe that IQ didn't get down there to get it first. But Nehemiah starting things off again for Edenity with a kill onto Feral, taking the Vigil off the board. So I would expect now that most, if not all, of the defenders are on site.
Yeah, definitely all downstairs on the basement level. I think we just saw that guy Jesus getting droned out there down in server, playing as the Pulse. He's sitting pretty tight, but no doubt a grenade maybe coming his way from Shockwave sometime soon. But Joystick now getting himself in a bit of a position to get a kill. Picks one up onto Doki-san, picks another up onto Zach, and that's 2 really quick kills there from Joystick. As we've said before, his aim is on point this evening, and he's doing fantastic. Pengu there on a bit of a flank, doesn't manage to do anything. Namir picking up that kill straight away, and it's all down to Jesus now. He's picked up the first, and he's now picked up the second. The diffuser is down, so he does have it all to do, but he is in a 1 versus 3. Picks up another kill onto Shepherd. Jesus going off with the pistol here, and now actually on the diffuser faking it, but Joystick coming in and picking up that kill. Jesus there giving it his absolute best to clutch that round out for his team, and coming ever so close, running out of ammunition in his primary, picking up, I think it was 3 kills with the pistol, something ridiculous like that. But Joystick there on the Ash, absolutely killing it, as we said earlier in that round. Aim on point this evening, and that's going to take Edenity 3-1 up, and we're moving into the final phase, or the final round of Dave Esports' defense phase.
3 very quick kills, as you say there, from Jesus. I started to get a little bit hyped. I thought he might just do it, but like you say, having run out of ammo in that primary, and then I think, to be honest, again, I have to give credit to Edenity there. They did exactly the right thing. If you notice, both of them just fell back towards Vault and forced him onto that diffuser. He was down to about half of the diffuser clock remaining, so he had probably about 10 or 15 seconds to start doing something about it. So whether he was going for a fake or not, they then knew where his location was, just moved in and got the kill. Very, very clinical from Edenity.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that Edenity are going to be looking to take full advantage of this last round of the attacking phase, seeing as they have done relatively well on it. We're seeing a bit of a different setup there, I think, possibly. Their Dave Esports maybe trying to incorporate a bit more of archives into the mix. Upstairs, obviously trying to defend downstairs yet again. Seen a bit of a role change as well. Pengu there is opting for the Vigil. Feral there, I think he has been struggling a little bit. He's got, first blood a couple of rounds as the Vigil, and Pengu there possibly saying, I'll take that and see if I can, maybe swing the round in our favour just a little bit and waste a bit more time or get some more kills.
Yep, definitely a stronger presence upstairs than we've seen previous. I think they've been largely playing with a Vigil upstairs, and then the remainder down towards site, or maybe 2 roamers at a push. But they are, I think they've essentially, they're losing out on gunfights. Nehemiah getting in and getting the pick onto Doki-san, so that's Bandit off the board early, and that is one of the roamers down. If this roam clear is successful from Edenity, then I think Dave Esports have got a real uphill struggle to keep hold of this round.
Yeah, definitely, and it is worth saying that we do play to 6. So, there we go, first kill coming in from Karzeka. That's Zach off the board, so his second kill coming in for Karzeka. So yeah, Zach off the board on the Legion. Again, seeing an early kill from Leeson, but Jesus there picking up Joystick. That's going to be a big kill this round. Shockwave taking out Pengu, so that's going to leave us 4 versus 2. Like we said, Joystick off the board. Joystick doing very well the previous round.
4 versus 2 and a very successful roam clear, which leaves them the top floor undefended now. And you've got Smoke playing in that cafeteria area, and he gets downed with a wall bang, I think it is. So they're gonna, if they're not quite aware yet, but I'm sure it won't be long before they start moving in, and if they've got a drone in there that was pinging Feral, they're going to be aware that he's down, and they're just going to move in and finish him off. Shepard going in there, and you're going to see, I think, things start moving. Does he see him? Does he see? I think he's missed him because he's behind the couch there, so they've not seen that Feral is down, and that might just actually slow them down. So great hiding from Feral, just to even in death almost, just wasting more time off the clock. But realistically, with Feral now finished off, that is down to Jesus. We saw him get 3 kills out of 5 last time. This time he's in a 1v4, but that clutch is going to be difficult. He gets the first with a headshot onto Nemia, but Karzeka moving in, kill onto Jesus. That finishes out the round, and as you say, Dave, Esports going down 4-1 on their own defensive phase.
It's absolute stark contrast to last week where they were so dominant on this map. Not dropping a single round, but I think that speaks to the competition this evening. Like I think I said it before, Edenity have come here to play. They really are, and they're taking this map by the scruff of the neck, and they're saying it might be your map, but we're going to give it our absolute best. Feral there on Dave Esports, struggling to pick up a kill, going to be opting for the blitz. So we are going to see our first blitz of the evening this evening, which is always a nice thing. And that may lead me to believe that it looks like Dave Esports are going to try and, well, it looks like Dave Esports have geared up to push downstairs CCTV room, although Edenity have chosen to go upstairs into tellers and archives.
Feral's performance probably very telling for his team there. From memory, I think he hit 34 kills across 16 rounds in the last game, and now he's on none on bank, and that's going to be having a huge impact on the team. I don't know whether he's maybe just not got his shot on point today. He can't get going. I mean, we all know it's very difficult. It's easy for me to sit here and say that's going to be part of the reason, and I'm certainly not getting on Feral's back. He is an excellent player, but is there a confidence issue today? Maybe it's just things aren't feeling quite right, and he just doesn't seem to have quite got going really.
No, it definitely doesn't seem to have got going, but, like we said, it's not the same roster as last week, and you can't ignore the fact that a player such as Pengu coming into the roster is going to, possibly switch people around a little bit and, put people on different operators, that maybe you wouldn't usually play. So I think that's got to play some part of it. But like you say, Feral did so incredibly well last time. I'm sure that's not the whole picture, and I'm sure he will pick up some kills, in this map at some point. As we've said, he is a fantastic player. So it looks as though Feral has made his way rather quickly into the room, and he's going to be starting a bit of a roam clear. Pengu there picking up the first frag onto Karzeka. So Vigil off the board. Bit of a pattern here with Vigils dying earlier here on bank, despite the fact we've not got a Jackal. And Jaeger there getting stunned and flashed out of CEO. It looks as though Dave Esports are pretty much all over him. Feral there going to be picking up his first kill, which is a headshot from the blitz, and taking Joystick out of the picture. Shepard there picking up a kill onto Zach as well, just trying to bring the man count a little bit further back in their favour, although currently we are 4 versus 3 in favour of Dave Esports.
That is unfortunate for Pengu. If you notice there, I think it's actually only blown 1 layer of the floor out as the thermite charge there, and then they're expecting the second, so they just shoot that one out. So it's actually gained him no visibility from CEO, and the Hibana now having to move in and try and get some. But again, they're just waiting for that downstairs now, shooting those pellets off through that destructible 4, and it's definitely going to have to come down to Doki-san on the Ash to try and open up a little bit that floor and just see that vertical control that we saw used so well against them.
Yeah, definitely. And, we say it every time. You get vertical control and you get CEO control upstairs, and this site, is very easy to, sort of get full control over there. Especially with a blitz, your blitz can go downstairs and maybe push one of the doors and create a little bit of a nuisance that way. Shepard there picking up the kill onto Pengu, so that's going to be Smoke taking out the, I believe it was the thermite this time. And Doki-san there, aware of some presence over in CEO, and this is all even at a 3-on-3. Saying that guy Jesus picking up another frag onto Shepard, bringing it down a little bit further in Dave Esports' favour.
But we've got two of, I think, the top fraggers left in Shockwave and Namiya for Edenity. They've got it all to do. They are 2v2, but I certainly would not put it past either of them so far this round. Jesus getting the kill onto Namiya, though, and with a blitz against him, it was just a little bit too much for Shockwave. He got the kill onto Jesus, but then Feral just moving in, proving me wrong immediately, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Let's spice this game up a bit. Feral getting some kills on the blitz, and that brings us to 4 versus 2 in favour of Edenity.
Fantastic round, and good to see that that guy. Good to see that Dave Esports there, managing to do clutch out the round and pick that one up there. We're going to see the first echo of the evening and a repeat on the blitz from Feral. Feral finding 2 kills on the blitz. It's almost cast as curse. Whatever you say, the exact opposite. 9 times out of 10, the exact opposite happens. So you say Ferrell's got no kills, he comes out with the blitz and gets 2 kills, and it's like, screw you, caster. I'm going to come out and get 2 kills with the blitz. Well, always good to see, and I'd rather call it out and be wrong, and get some kills like that. So, going to go downstairs into lockers and CCTV room. And it looks like we're going to see pretty much the same. I've got the IQ on Dave Esports side this time, so that's going to make Vigil and Echo a little bit vulnerable maybe. But we're seeing a Jaeger. Joystick's going to pick the Jaeger. I think Joystick is, Jaeger's probably his main defensive operator, if you will. So always good to see, Joystick on the Jaeger, because he can do, great things, and we've seen that in the previous maps. Shockwave there, looking maybe for a bit of a run out of the tunnel. Is he going to go for a cheeky C4, or is he just going to sort of look at the angle and get spotted and make his way back to OBJ? Maybe just a bit of drone hunting there, just to try and deny a little bit of information, and then get on his heartbeat scanner and see what he can see. But he does seem pretty keen. We're trying this little run out. I'm not sure if he has been droned out yet, but he will get droned out there and probably dip out to save his life and live to fight another day, as it were.
So we've got 5 versus 5, still 30 seconds into the round. The attackers just working there, watching that top floor. It seems like they've got some top floor control already with Ash and IQ up there. Pengu losing some health. I think he's probably got into a gunfight somewhere. I don't know whether that was a peek or not, but they're just starting to drone out stock and move around now. We've still got Karzeka upstairs on the Vigil. Can he get any kills? Can he waste some time? We've got 4 pressuring upstairs, so this is a real opportunity. But Karzeka getting droned, gets the down onto Zach and finishes the kill. So that's 1 and a pre-placed C4 possibly from Shockwave. I'm not sure, he could have picked that up on the scanner, but that gets Feral, so that's the blitz off the board, which was very influential last round. So an excellent kill there from Feral. Karzeka super lit and moving back to site, which I think is the right thing. He's done his job, he's done what he needed to do. Joystick getting the kill onto Jesus, but Penga trading that out and getting the kill onto Joystick, so that leaves us 4v2 in favour of Edenity.
Definitely, and this is going to be a must-win round for Dave Esports. It isn't quite match point yet, but I think that coming back from a 4-3 is going to be a hell of a lot easier than a 5-2. So really interested to see what could happen at this stage right now. Pengu there on pretty low health, but Doki-san there ready to back him up and with a bit more HP to spare, as it were. Shockwave there, really, good play on the pulse, but Karzeka picking up a kill onto Pengu. Doki-san getting a kill onto Shockwave, and it would appear as though Doki-san's going to get another kill onto Karzeka, bringing this down into a 2 versus 1. Although unfortunately Doki-san was pretty low hit points at that stage, and Shepard managed to get a kill with a Toxic Bay. So Shockwave there on the pulse, I think that's got to be a standout play of the round. He was really pushing the point on that tunnel, wasn't he? He wasn't giving up until he got that kill. He knew that it was going to get pushed. I think that it was Feral pushing it with Blitz, and he was able to pick up the Nitro Cell kill and then provide loads of information on his team for who was trying to push on blue stairs.
After the last round, that Nitro Cell onto The blitz, I think, was very important. Blitz caused a massive headache for them. Ferrell getting in there and just finishing that round off against the castle. No, let's be honest, nobody ever wants to be 1v1 versus a blitz. I don't care what changes they make to his flash or shield. Unless they make that shield smaller, nobody wants to be 1 versus 1 against a blitz. So, yeah, very influential in that round. And then they've dealt with him very well. I mean, I don't know that it was specifically targeted, but, you can't tell who's who on a heartbeat scanner. Maybe a little bit of good fortune there, but at the end of the day, it's got to be a good C4 toss to get somebody on a vertical kill like that. So, yeah, very, very good play. Moving into our next round, we will see another Tellers Archives hold. So, let's see what we got. We've got Karzeka upstairs. Now, that is a peak that I really, really like. What he's trying to do here is he's getting a view onto open area single window. Now, look at that view. It's horrendous. And people want to come through that window every single time. And I really hope that we see Karzeka get onto that and somebody try to move in through there, because it really is a peak that you want to start using if you don't already.
Yeah, certainly, because that window, it's often somewhere that someone will drone you in, but you'll get inside the window before the drone really is there and has much time to check out open. You'll feel pretty safe because there's that small wall, and then all of a sudden, bang, you're getting shot from upstairs and you're wondering what the heck's happened. So, fantastic little peek from Karzeka, but it looks like it may not be successful, at least not in the early stages. As you would expect, Dave Esports have gone pretty heavy on the destruction aspect of it. All soft destruction operators there being chosen, Sledge, Buck, Sophia, Ash, and they're going to definitely want to get control of upstairs, although Shepard is not going to make that so easy by already blowing the floor out to kind of deter on the repel and on the vault in, if you will.
Zach upstairs now, just looking to work his way in from top floor on Zafia. Not being pressured too much above, but there's definitely some pressure from those main stairs. It looks like they've pretty much got control of CEO there with Sledge. It's Ferrell on the Sledge, sorry, just moving in. What he needs to do for me now, that Sledge is unlimited. You've got Buck up there working as well. What they need to do is just open this entire floor up as quickly as they can. And then if there is a flank and one of them goes, their job is already done. Jaeger just managing to pick those off, but that's not going to matter to Doki-san, who gets the kill onto Joystick. Karzeka trading that straight back out to bring us to 4v4. Pengu upstairs still working those angles as Buck, but not managing to find anybody on site. And I'd just really like to see the Sledge in there as well as Ferrell, just opening that floor up a little bit more. And I think he's just... he's worked quite a few holes in that CEO side and then moved downstairs. Zach getting the headshot onto Shockwave, and that could be important. Shockwave having a very good game so far tonight, and it's all the pressure now raining down on Edenity. Can they hold out?
Absolutely, Karzeka there getting the kill onto My Name is Zach. So all's fair in a 3 versus 3, but this is match point for Edenity, so they're not going to want to go down without a fight. Shepard picking up a kill onto Pengu, but Pengu getting a late frag there from a frag grenade onto Nemir, and Ferrell getting, I believe it was Shepard. So Karzeka now in a 1 versus 2 situation. First off, he's going to come up against Ferrell, but the other player for Dave Esports in Jesus is not going to be there to get the trade. So it does appear as though Ferrell is going to play his life a little bit, take his time. He doesn't need to pressure this. It's all about denying the plant now of Karzeka, but Karzeka manages to get the first kill. So it is now a 1 versus 1. The bomb is not down yet, and the Jaeger devices are going to be taking out the stuns. Jesus there, clutching out the round for his team. That is a massive, massive clutch, and I hope that gives Dave Esports the bit of a boost there to take this round and to further take this map a little bit, because I don't really ever want to stop watching these two teams battle it out. It's been very enjoyable up to this stage. I hope you agree in the chat. It's been absolutely fantastic to watch this kind of a level of play. It's always very interesting, and you can see there kills across the board for pretty much everybody.
Edenity coming out very strong on that leaderboard. Look at that, 88695. That is unbelievable, and I think it just goes to show how powerful they've been so far on this map. But Dave Esports, not to take anything away from them, they are not making this easy by any means. I mean, I honestly thought Karzeka might just come in and finish that off there. He played it so well on the Vigil, using that rotation, moved through, got the first kill, brought it to a 1v1. I think ultimately it was probably his low HP that cost him. He basically would have needed a headshot, I think, really, to win that. But, you know, he put himself in the fight, and that's all you can ever ask from your teammates. You know, there was nothing silly there, nothing flashy. He did everything right to put himself in that 1v1 situation, and it came down to a gunfight. We can all handle losing a gunfight in that sort of situation. So, still, I think Edenity will be carrying a lot of confidence, but they will certainly want to be finishing it off here and winning this match point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, the MVP of that round was probably Feral, and the way that he didn't push Karzeka so hard when he was in that 1v1 in the objective. The man count was 2v1. And Feral could have quite easily got drawn into that gunfight with Karzeka and died a lot earlier out, and then it would have been much more difficult for Jesus there to be able to get that trade. As it happens, it wasn't quite a trade because it didn't kind of happen straight afterwards, but Feral staying alive for a little bit longer and not pushing that gunfight too hard. It just gave Jesus that time to get back to the OBJ, and he managed to catch Vigil as Vigil wasn't in the most advantageous situation. So Feral there definitely, helping to clutch out that round. But not to take anything away from the kill, Jesus. It was a good kill. But we're going to see Shockwave again pressuring this tunnel. And it does appear as though Zach is going to just, head on deal with that. But unfortunately get traded out straight away by Shepard. And Pengu is now going to drop the tunnel as well. And it does appear as though we have a server room push on our hands.
So we've got Sledge, Feral taking Sledge again, and as you say, he's down there in server. I'm not sure, other than his gun and frags, I'm not sure how much use his actual ability will be from there if the walls are reinforced, etc. But we've got Nehemiah as Echo holding that popular location in Garage. I think when you know that you're up against an Echo, you expect to find them in Garage, so you know that you're going to have a Garage push then. But Echo's got that ACOG, don't forget, so he's going to hold a tight angle there onto Garage door, and this is going to be close between him and Doki-san. And Doki-san just checking on his drone there to see his exact location. But cleverly, he moves. And is he going to get the kill? Shots are traded. Who's going to come out on top? And Joystick getting a kill. Nehemiah getting a kill onto Doki-san. So that is, Nehemiah winning the battle of Echo versus Ash. And I think that was a very, very difficult one for Ash to challenge, especially at this late stage in the game in a match point round. Feral, though, moving in and getting the important kill onto that Echo, taking that diffuser denying ability off the board. So time possibly for Pengu to start thinking about opening up a wall, and then they can work at getting the plant down, which he didn't even need to open the wall. He's done that, and Pengu using his experience to turn there and just cut off that flank, takes Joystick down, and this is all down to Smoke. He's trying to smoke out the potential for them to move back to site, but I don't think Shepard quite knows that they're both on blue stairs. He could possibly smoke that out and go for the defuse, which is, I think, now what he's going to do, but it's not going to take much for them to move back through if they hear it. And they do put the shots through, but Shepard gets the first kill onto Pengu with a fake. So is he going to get the second? No! Feral manages to get the kill through the smoke, defend the diffuser, and that is another round for Dave Esports. They're really starting to step up a gear now.
Dave Esports not wanting to go down here without a fight at all, and I almost feel like we've been riding on Feral a little bit too much, because in the last 2 rounds he's been one of the last 2 guys alive, and he's just stepped up to the plate and done exactly what they needed to do to win. Shepard there trying his utmost, coming out 10 and 5, double positive. So Shepard's having a fantastic game, and he does play a fantastic smoke. He does seem to always be alive when it matters to get those toxic canisters out. That guy Jesus, kind of matching it on for Dave Esports. He's going to be rocking 10 and 7. So high kill game, high round game so far. We're 5-4. It's not been blow for blow. I think that Edenity have lost a little bit of momentum. Dave Esports maybe have taken that away from them and started to use it for themselves. And Dave Esports now really showing why that they have been such a successful team. In some of the competitions that they've played in and stuff like that. They really are very competitive. And when the going gets tough, they keep going, and that's what they're doing right now.
Echo just getting the setup there. Nehemiah on Echo again. So are we going to see him play a Garage? He might have built a bit of confidence from the fact that he was in there, he was drawn out, but he still managed to win that gunfight against Ash. But it's definitely a 50-50 situation. So interested to see where Nehemiah is going to play this time. And we've got Shepard playing the smoke there, just taking out the wall as you would expect to see. That's nothing unusual there, getting the rotation out of that site, and the attacking team largely the same as we saw last time, but Doki-san on Twitch instead of Ash this time.
Yeah, not too much Twitch this evening. There is obviously a couple of ADSs down there, and I believe Joystick did play the Jaeger down here last round, so maybe they're looking to deal with a few of those without really bringing the Thatcher. We've not seen a Thatcher this evening, and I'm not too sure why. Thatcher's very effective at dealing with electronic devices, as everyone well knows, but Twitch's gun probably the reason for being chosen. The gun is a little bit better, but Joystick there picking up an early kill onto Doki-san. That's going to be from CEO onto the double door that leads onto the skylight, and that's a really cheeky kill, and it's kind of one that you only get away with a few times because that'll get watched next time, but good kill nonetheless. And it does appear as though, unfortunately, we have had a disconnect, so Dave Esports now are going to be pretty struggling on a 3-man count. 3 versus 5 in favour of Edenity. Unfortunately, nothing really can do about that. But Zach doing his best to bring the man count back down into their favour and picking up the kill onto Joystick.
Yep, that takes the Jaeger off the board and one of the better guns as well with that assault rifle. So as you say, first priority now has surely just got to be getting another man off the board, even things up, and then you can put that disconnection out of your mind. You're 3 versus 3, the round starts again, but Karzeka playing that aggressive vigil again. He's gone for the run out. He's leaving himself exposed. Oh, that nearly cost him, but he manages to get back into stock. But now they know exactly where he is. He's less than 25 health. Zach moves in, gets the kill onto Karzeka, and that is exactly what they needed. The 3v3 now. That's going to build a lot of confidence, and they can start thinking about their approach to site.
That's a reckless play, really, from Karzeka in the circumstance they were in and the man count. He's been dying to do a run out all evening. You've seen it on Oregon. We've seen it a little bit at double door on Bank. And he's just not been able to, stop that W from pressing down. He's W shifted a little bit too much there, I think. And dropping the man in that situation, it's not going to be all too good for your team. But C4 Tosh coming out there from Shockwave, taking Pengu down to around 15 or 17 health. So not a lot of health left on Dave Esports now. We've got Jesus probably full and maybe 50 health between Zach and Pengu, so won't take long in one of those smoke grenades for that to suddenly disappear, but Pengu's going to start getting the wall open, and it does look as though we are going to start getting a plant down. They may still holding an angle in the garage, and I cannot but think that he must know no one's coming that way by now because the man count is such, but Pengu there getting the diffuser down. Namir managing to get the echo to deny, and Zach picking a kill onto Shockwave. Final few seconds now. Shepard getting a kill onto Zach, and Pengu there getting stunned from the echo as Namir manages to, postpone the diffuser, and that's going to be Edenity taking this matchup in a storming 2-0 victory.
Excellent play there, as you say, from the defenders. Just managed to keep Namir alive on that echo. We've seen it so many times. Such a powerful way of denying the plant, and although it was 3v3, the man count got evened up. It just wasn't quite enough when, push came to shove.
No, not quite, and there's some fantastic plays from both sides there. I think that we really did see the best of Edenity tonight, and that form is going to be, that's going to come with a bit of a reputation now, and they're going to be very strong on those 2 maps moving in. And I think that we may see, some interesting bans in weeks to come where teams are really sort of analysing these VODs and figuring out, what weaknesses have Edenity got on these maps, because they will have some, and how can we exploit them. But as far as this evening goes, absolutely fantastic, and that can do so much for your confidence. They've won 2 games on the bounce now. They're going into this pretty strong.
That for me, even after week 2, I don't want to, get ahead of myself yet. There's a long way to go in this league, but that's puts a real, mark peg in the sand for Edenity there. They've come out with a strong win in a tough game, 2 of the better teams from week 1 from their performances, and they've really put a marker down there as to what they can probably achieve in this league.